The number of times the word fart was said in like the most serious, condemning fashion was fucking glorious.
It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hi, I'm Ramona Ramirez Higgins. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm on such a high after this episode of Salt Lake City. It was so good.
It was freaking fantastic. Like, even though I took 9 pages of notes, I wasn't like slogging, like, oh, when's this going to be over? Oh, God, one more scene. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Like, it's everything. It's Cosmic Scoreboard, Todd and Bronwyn, so many nuggets of fucking fantasticness. And I am thrilled that we are starting to talk about this franchise. Thrilled.
And also the most dense 93 seconds of comedy I've experienced maybe ever in a reality TV show. Like, I love farts, and I have never seen, if I had to teach a scene study sketch writing class, I'm not lying, I will use that scene because it is about something so stupid and they take it so seriously. And I watched it 100 times and was dying laughing. This whole episode, I was like, you know, the tragedy comedy masks? Like, that's what I felt like the whole episode. I was like screaming, laughing, then just gutted, devastated, sobbing with both Brittany and Olivia, her daughter. Like, everyone is ruined. You know, they'll find their way, but like, Jesus Christ, that's so much damage. And so facing damage is really painful. And yeah, there was just so much. Everyone in this cast, in my opinion, with the exception of Heather, gives a lot. Heather's just sort of there going, like, floating above it all, judging everyone and not giving anything except telling us she hates her daughters. And I'm not enjoying her this season. I really wish I was, but I'm not.
You're not alone. You're not alone in that.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like she's a facilitator or kind of like a quasi-narrator.
That's
you
the
know?
role she's put herself in. And
yeah, well, yeah. And everyone can see it.
I find that obnoxious. The whole reason you were so beloved is because you exposed everything. And I'm sure that's exhausting. I'm sure after a couple seasons of that, she just probably wants a break. But like, that's not the gig, ma'am. Show up for work.
In her defense, I will say the fact that she is willing to put her friendship with Barlow on the line in order to speak, to say what we're all thinking. Like, wait, you dish it out. You also fucked me over, like on the very first season, calling me a good time girl. You throw all of us under the bus, and now you're going to expect us not to retaliate or expect your castmates not to retaliate. I have appreciated her not kowtowing to Lisa because it did seem like in years past, she was desperate to have Barlow's approval no matter what, like to her own detriment. And now Heather might be so high on her own supply that it's going to work for good because she now feels confident. Like, I can make it in this cast without Barlow's approval.
It just feels like there's nothing on the line with her. She even says at the end of the episode, like, we just started a friendship and I don't trust her. And it's like, all right. As opposed to Mary and Angie, like, that's a real friendship. And when Mary walked away and Angie said, like, bye, Mary, like, I felt that. I was like, oh, God, oh, you really have something to lose here by calling out Lisa Barlow and making it a global statement. And she's hurt everybody and all of you fools go back and kiss the ring. That felt like real stakes. Heather's just like, I don't know, Lisa's kind of a bitch. If you think she's a mean bitch, you're also a mean bitch. It's like, yeah, obviously. She's the voice of all of us, but like, I don't have any relationships with any of these people. So if I were in that store going like, hey, Lisa, you're a mean bitch too, it'd have just about as much impact.
I see what you're saying.
You know
that makes sense.
She has nothing to lose.
Yes. So far.
Yeah.
So far.
I just feel like, here's the thing. What I loved about Heather was that she was kind of like every woman. And now she's this like, her body's changed, her angles, her face has changed. And instead of show us what it's like to date when you're 50. Like, that's hard. And either it does work out and it's weird, or it doesn't work out and it's lonely. Do something. Don't just comment on everyone else's lives and marriages and scandals and whatever. Like, that's what we do. That's what this podcast is for, and all the other podcasts I listen to. You do something. Show us something. If your daughters are really so interfering with your rockin' sex life, let's see a walk of shame. People do this. People in their 50s have sex. If you're so cool and that's something you've been dying for, then go get it. Or try to go get it and don't get it, and show us what that feels like. Like, I just am bored of her being like, I've got it all together now. You know, I just am like, I guess, okay, but that's like so boring and that can't be complete. Nobody has it all together. Or if they do, that's where I stop relating to people. I relate to people through their flaws. And so Heather to me now is just like this, I don't know, she's this distant form of a human being, but nothing that I understand. I'm just like, all right, yeah, you look great. And I guess your life is perfect. So you have nothing but time to comment on everyone else's. Cool.
Those are good points. Shall we, in earnest?
Yeah, let's do it.
Since this was fairly dense in the most exciting ways possible. This is The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6, episode 5 or 6, unclear, because maybe 6, because they're auto rolling, at least in Peacock and on Hulu. I don't have regular cable anymore, but because they're auto rolling, Watch What Happens Live right after, throwing off the episode number. It doesn't matter. It's called Out of Gas. Oh, I just got it.
You just got it.
I did.
You
Margie,
better believe the second that scene happened, I watched it 20 times and I pitched 9,000 fart jokes for our title of this episode in my head.
Oh, I love it. Like for the show notes?
Yeah, I had the time of my life.
Great. I'm so excited because I thought of you. If you're a new listener and you don't know, Margie loves a fart joke more than anybody else I've ever met.
Except like 6-year-old boys.
Yeah.
It's about that level in me. As my friend Drew Droege says, he says you have one of the most sophisticated senses of humor, and also you laugh way too hard at farts. And I'm like, yes, both of these things are true, I think.
You should definitely watch the Watch What Happens Live then that aired right after. It was Allison Williams and Meredith Marks, and they played a game where fart noises were, if they didn't answer or something in time or wanted to not answer, it was like truth or fart or something.
That's so stupid. I love it.
It's so stupid. And you could tell that the people in the control room were having the best time with the sound effects.
That's so funny.
Out of gas. Out of gas.
We start with Heather FaceTiming Angie as Heather makes a coffee. Her espresso machine makes a prophetic fart noise as it's pulling an espresso shot. And at the first watch, I was like, haha, that's a funny fart noise. And then later I was like, oh my God, the editors are so completist. I love them. And Angie says she's ready to have a hard conversation with Mary after Mary walked off feeling insulted by Angie's behavior at the tea party. And I really appreciated this that Angie said. She said at one point she was close with Lisa, but she goes, I know where things are. I know where things are at with Lisa, but I care where they are at with Mary. And I was like, that is a pretty expert distinction.
Angie, I related so hard to Angie throughout this episode. I have an attachment to the cosmic scoreboard. She has an attachment to the cosmic scoreboard. I can understand her desire for self-preservation in the face of Lisa Barlow. And I also have acted like her. Like I have gone tete-a-tete, head-to-head, because I was trying to preserve myself. And if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it right fucking back to you. What are you talking about? I loved it. So Angie feels like she's wasted her time in her friendship regarding Lisa. And recently, because she's been so triggered by Lisa's behavior, rightly so, in my opinion, this has made Angie show a side of herself that she doesn't like. And she has been feeling guilty over her behavior and what she said and ruminating over and over on what she said and did. This is what I was saying last week. Admitting where you are is vulnerability. Being honest with yourself and another person even just yourself, about where you are is vulnerability. And Angie does it, however imperfectly, she does it. Lisa does not. And I know who I have more empathy and sympathy for.
Well, and Angie is so on her side of the street here because instead of pointing fingers at Lisa, she's like, when I'm with Lisa, I'm a version of myself I don't like. So I have to separate myself from Lisa. It's not about changing Lisa. The way Lisa behaves when Heather confronts her, saying like, well, she needs to do this, she needs to do that, or else I'm going to do this and I could do that. And Angie's just like, no, I notice I don't like who I am when I'm with her. So I'm going to take some steps to make adjustments there. And I appreciated Angie saying that when she was going off at the tea about Lisa digging up dirt on everyone whenever they cross her, she said it's because she felt protective of everyone. And it didn't feel defensive. It felt like she was just trying to let Mary know why she was so heated, because she felt a responsibility to everyone at that table. And she was just the most recent case study in the Lisa Barlow playbook.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe Heather when she says she believes Lisa is capable of admitting fault, even though she's never seen her do it. I'm like, I think you're trying to be cute and funny, and it has no place in an episode like this where everyone is laying it fucking bare. Your like cutesy quips are falling so flat on me at least.
Dude, she hasn't done it with you, Heather. What are you doing? You're right. You know what? After we're just starting to talk about this scene, I agree with everything you said. Yeah, you're right. Come on, Heather. If Lisa is at all concerned about self-preservation, she should listen to Heather, or at least try, but she's just too wrapped up in ego.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Angie said it. She's too worried about what she looks like and how she cries and all this stuff that to give a rip about anyone else. But Heather does note that it was unfortunate that Lisa stormed out, missing the announcement that they'll be doing basically a below deck crossover episode with a girls' trip on a super yacht. So that informs some of the least interesting parts of the rest of this episode.
I cannot wait.
Me too.
I can't wait to see Daisy. I have yet to watch an episode of Below Deck Med. I've only done Sailing Yacht with Captain Glenn, Giddy Glenn. I'm so excited.
Me too. It looks great too. Oh God. But yeah, anyways.
Okay.
So we catch up now with Bronwyn and Todd having the saddest fucking ice cream parlor date I've ever seen in my life. He's such a dick. He's so distant and dismissive of everything that Bronwyn says and does, including, it's almost like he hates her and wants to punish her for existing. She says, my favorite thing is to eat the maraschino cherry last on the sundae. And literally 5 seconds later, he takes the maraschino cherry and eats it. That to me was like abusive. I was like, you're such a dick and you did this on camera. You're trying to humiliate and embarrass her. And like, congratulations, job well done. You did it. Ew. I hate him. I do not. Wow. I felt so lonely watching her sit next to him.
I have so much compassion for Todd. I know. A hot take. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
First, I'm going to say, I also have the note, I am not a fan of sad ice cream parlors. I also use the word sad. R.I.P. Farrell's, man. If you know, you know. So I think that if Todd did some, I might cry. Oh my God. What the fuck? I did not expect this to happen. I feel very strongly that Todd loves his wife and loves his stepdaughter so much. I believe he probably thinks of Gwen as being his daughter, not even a stepdaughter. I think that he is very protective of Bronwyn, and that is why he behaves the way he does. I think that if Todd was to do consciousness expanding medicine, he would be a different Todd. Why do I think this? Because I see similarities in my husband that I do with Todd. Because we've had similar conversations, Josh and I have. Years ago now, we had conversations where I was like, I don't know if you like me. And he insisted, like, I love you. I love you. And I'm like, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you think I'm an idiot or I'm annoying or whatever, XYZ. My husband was so defended for such a very long time. Self-preservation, the way he was raised. But what I learned and what he learned after his own experiences with consciousness expanding medicine is that he was just really afraid for me to get hurt if someone misinterpreted my behavior. I don't know if that's making any sense at all. 100% I validate anybody out there thinking that Todd is a monster. It's only because I've been on that side, not the exact same side. Josh is absolutely so much sweeter than Todd is appearing right now.
I've never seen him treat you like that. He didn't take anything she said seriously. He had his head down. He never looked at her. It was awful. I've never seen Josh behave that way.
No, absolutely not. And I'm not saying that they have similar personalities.
No.
I'm just saying that I see through some of Todd's behavior and some of his words. 100% I could be projecting. I could be wildly wrong. I think that if Todd did not really like Bronwyn or was not on board with her, there is absolutely no reason in the world why he would be in this marriage still. And the fact that he is, in my opinion, because I do think that he loves her, he just is a very defended man. Projecting. I'm telling you, projecting.
I mean,
but
and
that was the
maybe-
first thing I thought.
But like, is that okay for him to continue to treat her like that and not get help? He
no.
did this on camera.
I get it.
It was hateful. It was humiliating.
I hear you. I really do.
And he gives her nothing. She starts by trying to engage him. How was your visit with your parents? It was good. They're good. Okay, cameras are here. We're both, what the fuck, dude? Either show up or don't do this. Like, I've been in this relationship and it was a Todd type, not a Josh type. Someone says they love you and then treat you like you're foolish. And it's just like, well, what is my existence then? I don't know what I am to you then.
I hear
An
that.
accessory, like a friction sleeve. Like, what the fuck is this if you can't, like, don't agree to do shit like this if it's like that embarrassing and I'm that lame. He didn't look at the selfie she sent him. She said he'd be proud of her for staying out of the chaos. He was like, congratulations, thank you. Okay, like nothing is good enough, literally nothing.
This was my husband when we were working for the Obama campaign. And this was my husband when he got his first job in tech. They were under tight deadlines and stuff. Again, Todd and Josh are not the same people. My husband has a massive heart that anyone can sense from miles and miles away.
I just don't think Josh would ever say something like, Bronwyn says, I know you don't care about the details. He goes, at all. Would Josh shut you down like that?
think he would say that at all.
That's
No.
a different personality type. And again, this is on camera, which means off camera, he probably just walks out of the fucking room and leaves her. And I get it. There's a lot going on under their roof, blah, blah, blah. But he looked like a dick last year. I think she encouraged him to come on to do some damage control, some image revamping this year. And this is what he gives us? Dude, you're cruel. And to have your daughter see you treated like that on TV, like, I don't know. I found it unforgivable.
I see a man who is under-resourced in some way.
I agree, but I don't find that to be an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's just because, and I hope I'm not making my husband sound like he's like Todd at all. Like, he's not. I'm just saying that, like, there were times when our conflicts where I could relate to Bronwyn, feeling like, oh my God, does this man actually like me? Ooh.
No, I think it's really relatable. I think there's times in every relationship. I've been in several long-term relationships, and at certain points throughout the relationship, you get on each other's nerves to a point where the other person is annoying. And it does feel like you're swatting away a gnat when they want to talk to you again about, like, you know, whatever sports stats, or like, I don't watch baseball. I don't want to hear this right now, like whatever. But I would never say something like, don't care at all. Never. I would just say, like, I'm in a bad mood right now. I can't have this conversation. Can you please call one of your friends? I love you.
Right.
I gotta go.
Right.
And if they didn't do the same for me, that's why those relationships ended, because everyone is deserving of some level of respect. As Mary says later, there's a certain level of respect. And when that threshold is not met on a consistent basis, I got to get lost. Look at her crying. She's like, I'm just trying to have ice cream and connect with you. And like, he's just hanging her out to fucking dry. And his
Yeah.
sorry was so bullshit. Like, he didn't touch her. And I appreciate what she said in her confessional. She said, Todd doesn't need to agree for my opinion to be valid. And she said that through tears, which means this is a pattern. And that is heartbreaking. And that applies to her daughter as well. I'm sure of it.
That is the crux right there. Because I know when I was in those moments of intense pain, thinking that my husband did not like me for the person that I was, my survival was based on his opinion of me or what he thought, when it should have been, if I'm feeling okay about who I am, I can just like be like, man, he's having a hard day, or like, dude, what? But instead, it's like when Bronwyn talks to Todd, she's very much in that like little kid wanting approval kind of a thing. I've done the same thing.
But Angie did that with Mary, and look at the outcome. Mary came in defended. Angie was tripping over herself to get her favorite drink, and she got the wrong one. Shit, I have to serve you food. Blah, blah, blah. By the end, I love you. I can't do my life without you. I hug you. This is just like Bronwyn's crying, and he's like, sorry about it. Ugh. She's trying to connect with him. And
I hear
she
you.
says as much.
I really do.
She's like,
I
can
really
you
do.
suspend your disbelief to come with me and meet me where I am? This psychic, who I know you think is bullshit, fine. He said something that touched me about my mom. Can that matter to you, that I was touched? Even if you think all of it's bullshit. Like, I just don't understand what he was doing there. It was so embarrassing and sad. I felt so sad.
Yeah, I hear you. I really do.
She said, you know how I feel when people misunderstand me. I shouldn't have to feel misunderstood with you too. I shouldn't have to beg you to think this is interesting.
That's what I'm saying, though, is that I've had similar conversations in the past.
So have I, but they've ended like Mary and Angie's, not with a shrug and a fuck off and that level of distance. Yeah.
I think that the dynamic between friends and castmates can be a different dynamic than between spouses. And when she said that, I know that he loves her, and I am not excusing his behavior. His behavior is inexcusable. I am just saying I think that there is something underneath it that he doesn't know how to access, isn't interested in accessing. But I think that if his ego was dissolved a little bit, we would see a different Todd. Because when he said at the end, I wouldn't piss on Lisa if she was on fire.
Her brain was on fire.
If her brain was on fire, that's gnarly. Here's the difference between me and Josh and Bronwyn and Todd, though, is that we've done a fuck ton of work on ourselves as individuals, and we have worked in tandem on our marriage to communicate. And both of our experiences and work with consciousness expanding medicines, it has changed everything. So that is why I feel like I'm seeing pre-medicine Todd and pre-medicine Bronwyn.
That's the only Todd there is.
I know, for now.
I hope they find their way.
I do too.
I just don't have faith that at the root of Todd is the same root that exists in your husband.
No, absolutely not. How do I explain it? Because I even talked about it with Josh last night when we were watching. I said, this is pre-medicine Todd. And he was like, yep, like he got it. Because I said the same things that I'm saying to you.
My dad is pre-medicine my dad. So does that okay to like still treat? I get it. My dad does love me. He means well. He has no tools and he never got a skill set to express himself and blah, blah, blah. But like, so what? Like,
I hear you. I really do. I hear you. I validate everything you're saying. I do. And I wish I had a more adequate way of explaining.
I mean, I think it makes sense. Like what Bronwyn said in this confessional, I thought was universal. She said, Bronwyn, she is very accepting of Todd's lack of emotionality and wishes he would be more accepting of her, being a person having a more emotional experience of life. That has been a universal truth in all of my relationships. When I've been met with a Todd response, it's a very different outcome than when I've been met with like a Mary Angie conversation, which is still tense and defensive. And I love Mary for saying, like, I didn't come here to cry, I came here to chew you out. That is the kind of person where there's hope. This felt hopeless. Oh my God, it just felt, I feel like a void where my heart should be. It's so sad.
It's understandable. And when she said, I accept him for his lack of emotionality, I wish he would accept me for who I am. I had that conversation. I had
I
it
think
so
lots of
many
people have,
times.
yeah. But when you have it with a good person, it's a different outcome. This is Todd's second year on the show. He was absolutely called out for being a raging bastard, like demeaning, misogynistic piece of shit. And this is how he shows up. I think
know.
she probably tried to get him on to show him the Josh parts of him, and he is incapable. He wouldn't try. He wouldn't even try. He just was like so mean.
I hear that. I do. I
Ugh.
really do. I really do. And I could be naive. I could be
No,
wishful
I think you're
thinking.
right. I just don't know what to do. I think everyone is pre-medication.
Mm-hmm.
So then what? If they don't do medication or are not on that path, then what
I
do?
know.
You just stay and let your daughter watch you be treated like this?
No, I don't
So,
know. I don't know. That's a really good question. That's a really good question.
I mean, I guess it's like loving detachment. It can be both, where you just go like, you're an untreated sick person and I gotta get
Yeah.
away from that.
I mean, I definitely didn't have loving detachment in my marriage when we had conversations like this. I absolutely did not. 100% didn't. I was very much attached, and his opinion meant everything. I am expressive. I am, like you know where you stand. You know what I think about things. And Josh didn't always feel that he could handle it at that moment. And he would get frustrated, like, oh my God, she needs from me right now and I can't give. And oh my God, why does she constantly need? Why? And I didn't understand how he didn't need at all. And he was just like, babe, I got to compartmentalize shit or I'm not going to get through a fucking day. Whereas I only know how to be an emotional being. And Josh only knows how to be new. Not 100% either. I'm just saying when he was in real high pressure situations, which was a lot. He was on vapors because of work. I'm assuming that Todd is also running on vapors because of work. It's not pretty.
But it doesn't have to be that ugly. Like I'm thinking of Love is Blind, the Sparkle Megan, and I forget the other
Yeah.
guy's name because it's been a week and God forbid I
Jordan.
retain anything. Thank you. But they have that challenging conversation where he's like, sometimes I'm just exhausted
Yeah.
and I can't listen to you. All I do all day for 12 hours is talk and listen. I can't do it when I come home. And that might be the end of that might lead to the demise of their relationship. But he was kind when he said it to her. He tried to crack a joke. It fell a little flat, but he was trying to connect with her. He was trying to say, like, I'm here with you. I don't hate you. I cannot meet this need. And Todd, it just feels like, I ate your maraschino cherry. I'm going to answer your questions with one word. I'm not going to give you anything when you talk about what matters to you. End of scene. Ick. I hope
Oh
he
my God.
changes. I would
I do
love to see
too.
that. But
I think that Lisa and John are still together because, well, actually, never mind. Now that I say that out loud, I don't know. I think that Bronwyn and Todd are together because something works. They're
of
not together
course.
because they're trying to be perfect in the eyes of the fucking church, the cult church. But that's what I was about to compare Lisa and John to Bronwyn and Todd, but I don't think it fits now that I said out loud. But
I mean, every relationship, people stay together because there's good part. Like as my
yeah,
therapist would say, the good parts are really good and the bad parts are really bad. And the
yeah,
ones that fail, like those are, for me, those were the hallmarks. It's like there were really great things that kept us attached probably too long, and then really gnarly dynamics
yeah.
that I kept hoping would change and they never did. I guess that's probably what I'm projecting onto this is like, I don't see Todd wanting to do anything different. And especially at the end, he's slightly softer, but he's still a punitive daddy going like, you're a big girl, you can do what you want, but just know that your choices affect my career. And it's
Yeah.
like, and I just felt the weight of like, oh, he's paying for her parents. She just must feel so small and kept.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I get it. I do.
It's not that that's a bad set of feelings as long as they're coming from a person who can express to you that like that is not so. And I feel Todd enjoying that flex. It feels
I don't think he's enjoying it, though.
okay.
I don't think that he is responding to Bronwyn for sport. I don't think that he feels good responding to Bronwyn that way. I think he's surviving. I think he is terrified of her getting hurt and humiliated. I don't know if this will make any sense at all, but I think the fact that he showed up for another season does show that he wants what she wants. Even though his words and his gruffness might seem completely incongruent with who he's showing us, but I'm looking at his actions. Other than his words, I am not excusing abusive behavior, and I'm not saying what he's saying isn't awful. I'm just saying I feel like my gut is telling me that there's more than just what he's giving us.
And I think I'm probably responding so strongly because this has been my lifelong pursuit in therapy, which is like my therapist always saying, like, if they don't lead with gold, do not mine for it. You know, like it's just too much work and responsibility on me. I do believe that there's good in everyone, but it can take a lifetime to try and pull that out of someone. And in every time I've engaged in that dynamic, I lost myself completely, and it took for fucking ever to rebuild. And I see Bronwyn being a very different human being around the women than she is around him. And I worry for her. I worry for her.
Yeah.
And I worry for her daughter. That's a tough energy to share a living space with.
I get it. I really do. I do. I 100% validate all of that. And I really hope I'm not. I really hope that I'm not wrong. And I obviously don't want her to be in any emotional danger, any physical danger, none of that. I only want her to feel good in her marriage. I want him to feel good. And maybe this will be the jumping off point to leave. I could be completely wrong about this man. I just know that when Josh and I watched this episode last night, we had a conversation where we were like, oh, yeah. But we did not have that conversation about John and Lisa. I think that Todd would be more open to looking inside than Lisa Barlow is. I think you've got to be willing. And the fact that he showed up for a second season, like, I don't think that Todd is Simon Bad. Simon Barney. Bad. Like, we saw Simon and Tamara have terrible fights in the first couple years of Orange County. They're different. I feel like him showing up for a second season after getting skewered, I mean, it wasn't good for his reputation at all. Todd's. He was vilified. Yeah, their relationship it's extremely interesting to me. Some parts of it are relatable, you know?
Yeah,
in my
for
experience.
Sure.
So
no, absolutely. We catch up now with Lisa and John, where Lisa is packing for the yacht trip, and she's
oh my God.
very bitchy and annoying about being an old pro on super yachts. And this is just like a 3-day trip, and she's used to 7 to 10, but like whatever. And then it's just kind of sad. They butt heads about communication. He starts to talk, and she immediately overtalks him. And I was like,
The thing about this scene is that, like, here's what sucks about Barlow and John's conversation. I don't trust her at all. I don't trust that this conversation is happening organically. I don't trust that anything she does. Well, no, when she starts to when she starts to get really dysregulated and then cry and then panic and reach for her glasses like to hide something, that is real, authentic Lisa. If you're going to be on these fucking shows, just at least a scene a week. At least with your husband, just like do something fucking relatable. but she sucks. I can't stand her. She's not understanding the assignment. You need to be authentic in this role in some way, shape, or form. And I guess she's authentic to her ego, you know?
I found her kind of authentic here, certainly more than Heather, because she said in a confessional, this dynamic has been going on since their marriage began due to blurred lines between marriage, family, and business. And I believe her when she cries. And I'm actually surprised. I thought this would be the part you'd relate to, where she says she's expected to do it all. She's now reached exertion exhaustion and she feels unsupported and unappreciated. And she cries to her dad on the phone in the car when she's had a tough day instead of her husband. And that is sad.
I think she says that shit, that there's blurred lines. I don't doubt that she works hard, but I also do not think that she sees anybody else outside of what she does. When she said, John knows I ask him to treat me like glass, like, are you fucking kidding me? No. I'm not saying he has to like be like Todd. I'm just saying that request is so unrealistic. Okay, listen, I also don't know what the fuck happens behind closed doors of these people. It's clear that, like, if we're going on what Barlow and what John show us, she's the HBIC. You know what I mean? She's got a big personality. Like, her rule is how shit goes. The fact that she even cuts John off, the fact that she has to ask, like, I ask him to treat me like glass. It's like, I don't see him doing anything other than treating you like glass all the fucking time. Treating someone like glass, to me, in Lisa speak, that means like she can't be criticized or called out for anything. And that is why I call bullshit on her. And she has to run and talk to her dad. A, call your fucking friends. B, call your fucking therapist. C, yeah, fine, call your dad. But I have a feeling that that's because she knows that no one's going to call her on her shit. And I think that that's how she interprets being treated like glass, is don't call me on my shit. I think that John would be very, very open to communicating with his wife and working on things with his wife. Lisa is the block in that relationship. 10 toes, full chest, to her face. I would say it all.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I don't think it's a fair ask of anyone to say, treat me like glass, but I think when she said, you can shatter me, I think that sort of indicated to me how much John means to her. And it's probably the only friend she has, the only person who actually knows her. And I did think it was something that she acknowledged on camera. She said, I could stand to take the suggestion of listening to you just to show you that you matter. And I thought that was nice. I get it. And then she followed it up and fucked it up. But like, whatever. To me, this is far more interesting than anything Heather or Meredith are giving me at all. The scene with the two of them at the end, I was like, this is so boring and pointless. This, at least, I felt like there's, again, something at stake, a relationship dynamic that's real. And they may not ever be able to figure it out because she's probably too narcissistic to relax into fixing it. But he wasn't great either. You know, she said, we've been together forever and nothing's perfect. And then he does a dismissive bullshit smirk and goes like, well, everything you do is perfect, so I guess it's just me. And I was like, oh my God. So both of you guys don't want to actually do anything about this, which is fine.
I really think that he said it like that because that's probably what she thinks. We don't see her say sorry to anybody.
I don't disagree with him. I'm just saying, if you actually want to solve a relationship problem, smirking and making a sarcastic, shitty comment progresses nothing. Like, I don't think either one of them are actually in the place where they want to see if this is going to work and they're willing to stay and work hard or leave if it's not going to work. So what they're doing is this shit. Treat me like glass. Well, I guess you're perfect and everything I do is wrong. It's like, well, that's your dynamic and you're dug in. So enjoy that marriage.
I don't know, man. I mean, yes, he was very, very passive aggressive. Again, team nobody here, but more team John. Actually, yeah, like 50% more team John. Actually, 75% more team John. 95% more team John. I have a really hard time with personalities like Lisa.
Yeah.
I can't.
She's not great. I just, you know.
Whew, I'm literally heated. I'm literally heated. Like my body temperature is rising. she's been one note this whole fucking franchise. This is season 6 of her same one note. In fact, it's getting worse. She's progressing. We are seeing her, like, her need to control and manage. She's worse than she was in season 1.
But see, to me, it's not the same note. It is getting worse and it's coming unraveled. It's like a little bit of water caught the Wicked Witch of the West and she's starting to steam. And I like watching someone be revealed for who they really are. And I've never seen her cry this much. Like something's really getting to her. And it's like you're saying, it is the loss of control. She can't control her image, her family, her friends. It's gone. She showed all of her cards by pulling up dirt on everyone the minute they piss her off. So she's an idiot and she now has a tell. And I'm curious to see, again, I just find this infinitely more compelling than Heather Gay being like, everything's perfect. Anyways, everyone else is a mess. Right, guys? It's like, that's, to me, that's one note and lame. This is like the cracks are starting to really expand and she's losing it and I'm here for it.
I am too. God, and just another chock full scene. Mary at Angie's. Did you notice the German Shepherd in the backyard?
No.
Of Angie's house? Yeah, there was like a German Shepherd in the backyard, like in a dog pen. Yeah. And I was like,
maybe that's the dog that farted.
I don't know. Maybe that dog isn't allowed inside.
Clearly.
I gave it way too much thought. I was like, oh no. Is that like a guard dog? Well, they probably have an alarm. Maybe that dog would jump on Mary. Maybe Mary doesn't like that kind of dog. Why don't we ever see the German Shepherd? I went out there for a minute. But anyway, just curious. I really did like this scene. I like their fucking friendship, dude. I do. Mary is so strange, and I do not agree with where she comes from at all on a lot of these things. I feel like she rationalizes a lot of, like, her needs and her friendship come from trauma places. And also,
so do mine. But she like
unrealistic asks of people.
But she's willing to relax them. You know what I mean? Like I start with unrealistic asks too, and then when I care enough about the person, I'm willing to meet them where they are. You know, and I that's what I loved. I loved the arc of the scene so much, and I root for them with my like whole heart.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sweetness there and a lot of hurt because of how Mary loves. And I thought she was so honest about all of that. Anyways, we start with Angie getting Mary her favorite drink, but it wasn't sugar-free. So Mary declines it. And I thought this was like an indication of the sweetness that still exists between them when Mary said, don't put that in your body either because it's too much sugar. And I was like, all right. So she wants to be a hard cunt, but like she really loves this person. So she can't help herself. And then Angie presents platters and platters of food, cheese, cured meats, and olives, which is just tray after tray of farts, which meant nothing until my second watching. And then I really appreciated Angie launching with, I want to start with, I'm sorry. Like, hello, this is so advanced. And she said, I know that you wanted me to calm down. I know that you wanted to help me. Here's where I'm coming from. It's hard to allow someone to bully me and not respond. And I just thought that was such perfect, concise opening to this conversation.
Totally. Completely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, this was where I was like, Mary says that their friendship is like a sisterhood and that Angie won't even let Mary calm her down in those moments. So why is she there? That is what I was like, what? Like, if my friends don't let me calm them down in a moment of high dysregulation, I can try whatever I can, and I know I'm there with like love and open arms. But I would never say, why am I here? If you're not letting me comfort you or calm you down, why am I here? Like that was wild. It was a group lunch. It wasn't a one-on-one or like a a trio, like where it was just Lisa, Angie, and Mary. But like, I don't know. It made no sense. Their fight was not about Mary. It was about the two of them. And I didn't understand where the hell Mary was coming from with that one. That I felt was very odd.
She sort of hinted at it last week when she said, I don't do well with that kind of like frantic, angry energy. And she says it again here. She says, you get so angry that you can't focus and you can't hear me. Like, you're letting someone get you so mad it's affecting our friendship. You get so caught up that I don't even exist. And as someone who came from a household with a lot of chaotic fighting, I get it. When that kind of energy starts, now I've been in therapy for 10,000 years, so I know if I'm having that reaction, it's not this person's fault. They don't hate me. It's to do with other circumstances. But I can understand if Mary, like, if that kind of energy where like, you can't hear me, I don't exist. Like, that's old, if it's hysterical, it's historical kind of stuff. But I thought she did as good a job as someone could at explaining it.
Okay, I can understand that. Yes, that's what it was. If it's hysterical, it's historical. And again, when we say hysterical, we don't mean misogyny hysterical. We're just talking about the Al-Anon, what we learned in 12-step rooms, that if you're having a really strong reaction to something, it's probably not about what's going on right there. It's got lots of weight behind it from years and years of shit, and you're layering it on that one instance.
Which is the whole point of our podcast.
Yes.
Which none of these people have we ever met or care about at all week to week. But in the moment, they get us so heated. We talk about it for 2 hours at a time.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mary does try to push her away because we find out later that she came there to chew her out. And she said, you're supposed to be my sister, but you're not. And I loved Angie for just patiently trying to get through to her. She says, I don't want to feel like you're mad at me for being me. And I thought that was also really clear and vulnerable.
Completely. I loved it. I loved this whole fucking scene.
And then we start into the best scene of reality TV I have ever or likely will ever see. From this like incredibly vulnerable friendship place, we enter 2 full minutes of what is really bothering Mary, which is she's noticing that Angie is being increasingly mean, and she thinks Angie is not seeing herself in that role right now. And she says, I don't know who you are, and you're a little bit mean, like when you made fun of my fart. And at this point, I'm on the edge of my seat. And then there's flashback footage at which point I officially like ascend into heaven. There's a flashback scene to Bronwyn and Mary in Angie's kitchen, and they raise a glass in a toast in Angie's kitchen, and Mary farts, and she laughed at first. In the footage, we see her laugh, and this was before she decided that this fart was a defining moment in her friendship with Angie. I literally transcribed this whole scene because it was so delightful to me. And Angie's reaction shots were a whole episode of The Office because Mary's so serious. This really hurt her. At one point, she's even near tears at the end of this conversation about her fart because she said, you kept making fun. And Angie goes, made fun of your fart. And she really like leans heavily on the T. And Mary goes, yeah. I was fucking dying.
Yeah.
And Mary tries to play it off. She says, first of all, the dog farted. Your dog fart smells the whole house up and you blamed it on me like it was my fart. She goes, I eat healthy. My farts don't come out like that. We should know that fart between my fart and a dog fart. Like the number of times the word fart was said in like the most serious, condemning fashion was fucking glorious. And she goes, next time I won't tell you when I fart. And Angie goes, okay. And like raises her hands to cover her mouth from laughing. And Mary says, if you farted and I smelled it, I would never make fun of you. And this is where she legitimately starts to cry. She goes, and you don't even know if I smelled your fart before. Maybe I have. I would never talk about it and make fun, but you didn't smell my fart. And Angie goes, I didn't smell your fart, but you acknowledged that you farted. So she goes, I had gas and I was offended by you, okay? And I was like, oh my fucking God, this is the most story-driven fart scene I've ever seen in my life. And I fucking loved every fart of it.
You are not wrong. Every fart of it. I see what you did there. You loved every fart of it. Oh my God, I love it. So after this whole 2 minutes that you just read went down, I was like, oh, Mary is resentful about all the fart shit she took from the week before. And that's why she's extra mad at Angie right now.
She's embarrassed. Angie embarrassed her. In the flashback, we see Mary getting uncomfortable about all the giggling about her fart. But when Mary says, like, well, next time I'm not going to tell you when I fart, Angie says, I'm done. We're done. We're not talking about your farts anymore. But Mary clearly had not processed that apology and so carried that with her.
I don't know that she would have gotten upset with Angie at the telepath lunch if she wasn't already sitting on a hot
Fart.
A hot fart resentment.
I mean, but it's
You
not
know?
about the fart because she gets to it. She says, I pull back when I feel a level of disrespect, and you have reached those places with me more than I can handle. So for whatever, the fart was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Good Lord.
And so, but it leads Mary to this like really vulnerable place where she talks about she doesn't let people in. Angie's friendship is a once in every 20 years rarity in her life. And when she loves someone like that, she loves with her whole heart. I have you on a pedestal. I want what's best for you. I want you to thrive. I want you to always win. And she breaks down crying. It catches her own emotion, catches her by surprise. And it caught me by surprise. I teared up too. Like, I know that kind of love. I know that kind of friendship. And I know that feeling when someone you love inadvertently hurts you. Even if you know it's inadvertent, it's so extra fucking painful. You know me. I love you. Like, you're going to take one extra fart dig when I was already obviously uncomfortable. Like, ow.
I hear you. What I was uncomfortable with is that not her whole response, but so much of it was so trauma informed. And
For sure.
But she's making it Angie's responsibility. Like, these are the things that I need. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Like, hey, I've got this stuff that I carry. And if you want to be my friend, I have to have this level of respect. Now, I don't think that's fair to ask. I think that is something that she needs to fix in post. You know what I mean? Like, that's for, I don't know. Am I crazy?
I don't think you're crazy, but like if my friends demanded that I fix all my shit before I approach them with like, because she said like Mary does exist in extreme. She says, when I love you, you're on a pedestal and I want you to win. And then when I feel betrayed, I will unmemorize your existence, is what she says. So she is living in a black and white existence with that. But she says, I live my life with a guard up because I have been dogged. And like, that's a fair thing to fucking say, you know? At least she sat there and had the conversation beginning to end. And she came in with an agenda to tell her off. And instead she cried and hugged her because she loves her and is willing to at least try. You know, it's not perfect. It is all trauma informed. But again, being an Al-Anon, that is a relationship dynamic, one that I have engaged in a lot. I love addicts. I love them. They're charismatic. They're fascinating. They run deeper than anyone gives them credit for. But it does come with some of that. Like, you have to do this if you want to be in my circle. And I'm learning how to manage those relationships better in 12-step rooms. But like, you know, I think their friendship is really special. I would ache for Angie if she just was like, no, go fix your trauma and then come talk to me. That'll take decades.
I mean, there's a reason why they are friends. And it's funny now that we remember when they went to the Trixie Motel and, you know, Angie was like, come on, girl, come sit with me. She's like, no, don't call me girl. Like, this friendship was preordained, clearly. Mm. You know, like Mary is clearly having an experience with Angie that she probably hasn't had with a lot of people. She just admitted it. Like, she, you know, I don't do this with other people. And so I love it. I see it. And when Mary said, I can't live without you, but get it together, that fucking ruled. Like, that was vulnerable and clear, but I had a hard time. I was let me put it this way. I was very uncomfortable watching somebody ask to have needs met when they're not trying to meet their own. Does that make sense? I guess I take it for granted, Margie. I tell you, like, all the time, like my friends are very, everyone who's closest to me is very interested in introspection. And why do I work like this? Why? Where do these reactions come from? And it felt like Mary was making things external. And that is what I was uncomfortable with. I don't ask my friends to be perfect. I don't ask them to like not say what they need. I think that it's okay to have needs. You know, in dating, I never thought it was okay for me to need reassurance. Like, turns out it is. You know, does my need for reassurance come from a trauma-informed place? Probably. And so I get it, but I worked on it and it was still there. When I had that therapist that was like, Ramona, you might just be someone who needs reassurance in your romantic relationships. And I was taken aback, like, that's okay? That's okay?
So what if that's Mary, though? She might just be someone who needs a certain level of respect. And she's letting Angie know as they get to know each other and their friendship deepens.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I was uncomfortable watching. It felt like too external. Like I was there questioning, like, hey, I don't think I'm supposed to be asking for reassurance. And someone's like, you can. But I was curious about it. I was like, this isn't working. Like, why? I'm either not accepting myself or somebody else isn't accepting what I need. But I got to get good with this in some way, shape, or form. Let me unpack it. And I don't know that, and not that Mary has to do what I fucking do. It just felt like it was asking a lot.
It is. But she's kind of like charmed in other ways. Like, I feel like she brings things to a relationship that I don't. Because I, too, it's what bonds us in a lot of ways. I'm a curious, introspective person myself. But Mary, watching her at that tea when she got Lisa and was like, show them the light. You show them the way. You be the bigger person. And and Lisa was like, you're very motivational.
Yeah.
And watching her talk to her son, who is in active addiction and able to speak honestly with her about it, that is charmed. That is someone who does not feel like he has to put on a show for this woman. Like, she has something, you know what I mean? And it may not be what would work for me in like in a super close friendship, but I believe her when her love is almost overwhelming to her. When she trusts it to someone, it's so gigantic that a fart joke can cause an incredible amount of pain. It could read as disrespect because she gives it to so few and she gives all of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I loved that closing little couplet when Mary said, what, as you reported, I don't think I could live my life without you, but you got to get it together. And Angie says, I love you deeply and I will work on myself. And I was like, okay. And then they hugged.
Yeah, I loved it. It was fucking fascinating, I'll tell you that.
Well, and it's those conversations that I've had with friends and in relationships that have made me grow into a better person, whether I stay in that relationship or friendship or what work relationship or not. When people confront me and say, like, I need you to get it together. Like, I love you and I want to be in your orbit, but like the way these things are going down are not working for me. And that's what drove me into therapy in the first place. And yeah, they hugged and I was healed. It was lovely.
It was this, I mean, this whole episode so far is just 10 out of 10. Then we go to Heather and Lisa pre-yacht shopping at the Katie Waltman boutique. And it's not quite a sad Orange County boutique, but it's also not feeling super fun to me.
A little sterile.
It was just like, I was like, God damn, this is sad beige. This is sad beige. This is sad beige. Heather tells Lisa, no, you can't bring glam on the yacht. And she jokes that Angie can give you a blowout. Whitney can do your makeup. Angie can give you a blowout. You don't trust Angie with your hair? And Lisa says, no, I don't trust her with anything. And then she starts in on her only fucking coping skill to note. Put you down for money. Put you down for clothes. Put you down for not being a perfect Mormon. Put you down for XYZ. But all of these like surface bullshit things. She's lazy. She's uninspired. She is mean. She's vicious.
And she's weak.
She's weak. Yes. Lisa passive-aggressively says, oh, good, Angie's first time on a luxury yacht. You can see her, like her breathing starts to change.
Her eyes went like dead, like a snake. Yeah, it was awful.
It's like she's got a fight with an imaginary phantom in front of her. She went off the rails. I don't say that a lot, but she went off the fucking rails. And so fine, you go be friends with Stephanie Shojai, and you guys can talk of that bullshit. But you reek of insecurity, Lisa. You reek of it. It's dripping from you. It's coming from your fucking pores.
And inauthenticity, because she walked into this scene like, hi, she's all superficial and bubbly, like, hey, Heather, we're going to shop at this luxury cruise, hooray. And then Heather immediately holds her feet to the fire about Angie. And she's like, I did not expect this to go this way today. And I was like, well, you're not in control anymore. Everyone is fed up with you. And so this is your life now. And it's your bed. And now you can lie in it.
This saying has been going out a lot in the last 9 months, 10 months. Every accusation is an admission. I repeat, every accusation is an admission. Barlow accuses people of XYZ because she is actively XYZing all the fucking time. She says she's getting sick of Angie's attacks. And I'm like, okay, you're the one that's attacking. She calls Angie a mean bitch. And I'm like, are you crying because you are yourself a mean bitch? Like, again, it's a mirror and it's up to your fucking nose. It's so steamy that it's dripping condensation, Lisa. What's it going to take, man? What's it going to take? Whatever.
I mean, Heather could not have been more direct. So it's not someone being direct and honest with her. Because that's literally what Heather said.
And that is what Heather's problem is that Lisa doesn't, I don't think she respects her. She doesn't take her seriously.
Because they don't have a friend. Again, there's no stakes.
You're right.
Heather could get hit by a bus and Lisa would shrug. You know, there's nothing, she doesn't care what Heather thinks of her.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. So she says that Angie goes lower and lower and lower. And I'm like, is the lower and lower that Angie's doing in the room with us now, Lisa? Because you are the one that traffics in the lowest of blows in this entire franchise for now 6 years in a row. Oh, her first trip on a yacht? Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, great. What does that get you? What does that get you? You win because you've been on a yacht with 9 suitcases? Good for you. You have to go crying to your dad. Listen, I cry to my mom. I cry to a lot of my goddamn friends, and I can cry to my husband, and I can cry to 2 therapists and a psychiatrist and probably my gynecologist. I'm not kidding. Like, I can cry to a lot of fucking people. She's got one person, probably because her dad's like, oh, kiddo, oh, God, that jerk. He enables her, dude. That's what I'm trying to say. I bet her dad enables her. And so she doesn't want to be with people that won't enable her. Anyway, so they continue with, Barlow's badgering Heather about how, I don't remember how I can't even understand my own notes here.
I mean, it's basically Lisa's just like tit for tatting it, saying Angie started this by insulting her kid's brand and calling her a cunt, present, cunt, all this. And then Lisa claims, I didn't dig at her. And Heather's like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, how? How did I go low? And Heather says, the soup man. And then we get clarification that it is, in fact, the suit man. But we don't learn anything more about that accusation because clearly Lisa wants to hang on to this as some sort of whatever. And Heather says to her, there's a reason no one rides hard for you. And that's because they've all been burned by you. And Lisa now gets upset and starts weeping. But Heather, to her credit, holds her feet to the fire and says, what you two are doing has no endpoint. And Lisa goes, well, stop talking about me and I'll stop talking about you. And then she immediately starts talking about Angie. And it's like, if I could count her money, it'd be really fucking easy. And Heather's like, you're doing this, like you're doing exactly what you said you wouldn't. And then, in Lisa's confessional, she somehow blames Heather for starting this with Good Time Girl. I don't understand. And then she takes credit for the book title, Good Time Girl. And then they continue bickering over the register counter with this poor sales girl, like caught in the middle, looking absolutely terrorized. And Heather sums it up rightly, but boringly, by saying you both want to win and you're both losing. Until you really clear it up or change, it's never going to go away. And that is all correct. But yeah, good luck letting that land.
She also called her a risky friend. Lisa, you're a risky friend. Mm-hmm. None of my fucking friends are risky.
No.
They are like such low fucking risk. They are safe spaces. Every single fucking one of them are safe spaces who would harvest their own kidney for me at my bedside without anesthesia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Man, I really gave my serenity away to this woman, but that's why we do this podcast is because, I don't know another way to watch Bravo, goddammit.
No, and she really is. But I find it so fascinating to watch how quickly she comes undone when her vision of how the scene would go wasn't coming through. She immediately starts crying and wants to leave. It's pretty amazing.
Sunglasses on, sunglasses off.
Yeah.
Pacing, walking to that rolling rack, walking to that one, crying, touching your hair. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go. Bruh, you have a fully formed prefrontal cortex, man. You're acting like a toddler. Have some shame.
I know lots of people like this who cannot tolerate discomfort. They don't know what to do. Glasses on, glasses off, pace, leave. You know, like they cannot just be there and be like, I don't like how I'm feeling. They have to go away and do something, buy something, sleep with something, eat something,
Yeah.
drink something, do a drug. It's not right. Also, she eats Kit Kats and Diet Coke. I do feel like, I wonder if her system is just like, can I have a turkey sandwich?
That's what she tells us. She's trying to be a meme. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
She's so inauthentic to me that I think she thinks it's a flex. I ate 4 Kit Kats and a Diet Coke for breakfast. Great. Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. But this is what I love about reality TV. Like it is until it's not. Like
Yep.
Baby Gorgeous was great. We were all on her side. And then she tried to continue with an image, and the cameras will capture who you really are. And they're coming for her this season. So,
Yeah.
but in authenticity news, we head to this devastating, incredible peak drama scene between Brittany and her daughter, Olivia. And Olivia is 19 years old, and she is brave as fuck and self-assured and vulnerable. And I loved her, and my heart broke for Brittany because she lost a lot by abandoning her. And I don't know if she'll ever get her back. And that whole feeling is nauseating for me. So it must have been 8 million times that for her. And Brittany does this tragic move of getting Olivia a steamer because when Olivia was 4, she pitched a fit crying out for her coffee. And she tells this story to Olivia, who is unmoved. And she's like, that's funny. And she's like, Brittany's like, you don't remember? And she's like, I was 4. I don't know you. Brittany lets us know that she got married shortly after divorcing the girl's dad, and she tried to create a perfect family. And then she said something that made me sick to my stomach. And I was like, I don't know if I could ever forgive you. She said she felt caught in a tug of war between husband and children. And I was like, that's either a shitty husband or a shitty you or both. That has nothing to do with the children. And what tug of war? What the fuck are you talking about? Your children are your first commitment. They were there before like, what? Am I crazy? Am I oversimplifying this?
She said that she'd get to her kids when I could achieve being a good enough wife. Then her
Yikes.
kids moved in with their dad, so she failed. Yeah. If you're marrying a man that doesn't want you to be like if he's like asking you to pick sides, what the fuck are you actually doing? So she's got a lot of shit. Talk about trauma informed. Like I can't even imagine. Oh my God.
She reminds me a little of like the cast of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Like I wonder if she came from one of those families that like you're nothing without a man. If you're divorced, you're shit. Good luck getting someone to marry you. And so she found someone who would marry her. So she just took that and tried to please him to keep him. And now she's coming to terms with the collateral damage.
I mean, if that ain't a cult, you're going to sever relationships because of putting a man at the head of household. I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know.
Obviously, yeah, that's not helpful programming.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, I am Olivia, not with my mom, but I was Olivia with my dad. The anger, the shortness of breath, are you kidding me? How are you not connecting dots right now? What? Wise beyond her 19 years. Clear beyond her 19 years. Fierce beyond her 19 years. Unwilling to take bullshit. You got to earn this back, Mom. You got to earn it back.
But also really vulnerable. It's
Very vulnerable.
Like a motif in this episode when Mary said, I didn't come here to cry. I came here to tell you off. I felt like this was a similar thing. Olivia came here clear and centered and sure of what she was going to say. But when you care about the person you're sitting across from, you get fucking emotional. And I loved her for being willing to go there too.
Me too.
I think Brittany has an uphill rest of her life path to regaining this child's trust. But I think Olivia would actually be willing to receive her if she'd be willing to do that work. I don't have a ton of faith
I don't
in
either.
Brittany. I don't think she likes to do hard things.
I don't either. I don't have a ton of faith. And I speaking to her Olivia showing her vulnerability, like I've talked about in the past, how like anger has been historically, it was one of my more accessible emotions because it's empowering. I would just be so devastated by the people whose love I needed for me to be able to communicate. Sometimes it would be laced with more anger than vulnerability, but always underneath it was that vulnerability. And I saw so much of myself in that girl. She reminds Brittany that, hey, do you remember the last time that we were supposed to meet?
To which Brittany says no. And I was like, Brittany.
She had 30 minutes between jobs. So she went to her mom's, but Jared showed up at the same time. And instead of prioritizing Olivia for 30 fucking minutes, Brittany made out with Jared in front of her. And all I want is for you to prioritize me and get to know me, especially over a man you're dating. I mean, I can't even believe it has to be said. A, B, okay, fine if it does. But Brittany, it's still not getting through to her for some reason. She uses this language that like baffled me. She has a baffled look on her face too and says, I don't even know why that happened. I was disgusted. It's too passive. No, you say, oh my God, I don't know why I did that. I did that.
She gets there, though. I agree, but she's not very evolved. Brittany continues on and says she had kids that she never got to see, and Olivia cuts her right the fuck off and is like, yeah, you cannot put that on us. You can't cry about how sad you are that you have kids that don't talk to you when you abandoned us. And then we get this confessional from Olivia where she talks about how her mom was so present in their early childhood. And then when Olivia was 12, Brittany just went MIA when she got married to this new guy. And she said she went from having a doting mom to Olivia having to beg for attention. And I related so much to this very painful concept of knowing her mom is capable of being present and caring and being fun and wonderful. I know it's in her, but she stopped doing it. And that's that, like, in my household, that's like an alcoholic quality. I don't think that's what's going on with Brittany, but I related to that sentiment of like, I know you're wonderful. You've been it to me. I've seen it. So why are you doing this now? And how long does this last? We've got to get past this to get back to the good stuff. I've seen the good stuff. Where is it now? It's such a confusing thing when you're a kid.
100%. 100%. That was absolutely my dynamic being a child of an alcoholic as well. 100%. Like, I know what you're capable of. I see it. Why? I'm your kid. I'm your fucking kid, man. Like, what?
She says, Olivia directly says, I just think it's important that you take accountability and realize that I wanted a mom. And Brittany, this is where Brittany really breaks down. And she says, that's so sad. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to make it better because I can't go back. And I think that's where Brittany is stuck. And I think she could use some mental health support to help her find a way forward. And this is where Olivia breaks down. She says, I put myself in your shoes and I would never do that. So why did you? And basically, Olivia tells Brittany, you need to figure out why you did that, because it is her worst fear that she will reconnect with her mom and again be neglected for another man. And Olivia tells her the saddest thing, which is a universal truth for any kid who gets abandoned or rejected or neglected. She felt like it was something that was wrong with her. And this dialogue ripped my soul open. Brittany says she's so sorry. You're my precious baby. And Olivia says that you know nothing about. And Brittany cries, saying, but I really want to get to know again. I would love the opportunity if you'll let me. And Olivia says, I just don't want to get hurt again. And Brittany says, I'm sorry. And I was like, just like, again, the sucking void where my heart used to be. It's like, I don't know if this will ever heal. And it hurts so much. Oh my God.
My God. Yeah.
Ugh.
I know. Why is beyond her years, because she had to be.
And so brave to put this on the show. Again, like the parent-children dynamics on the show with Mary and her son, and in this conversation, like Brittany, for all her faults, by the end of this scene, I believed what she was saying. And I think she simply doesn't have the tools or the resources to get where she wants to be. She would have to do some major healing of her own shit. And yeah, I come from similar programming. So like I have some sympathy for her, you know? When you're told you're not worth anything without a partner, you think you need to get a partner, you know?
Yeah.
And she would need to unwind some of that and then work toward, I mean, she would have to put all of her time and energy to regaining this child's trust. This child seems well worth it to me. I would put all my time and energy in trying to get to know this girl. She seems rad, but Brittany, she just seems a little, I don't know. She seems like a fawn on unstable legs, and I don't know if she has the gumption to try to get him up under her.
I don't even know if I'm cautiously optimistic. I really don't.
So
I know
sad.
it's heartbreaking. But when I hear language like, I don't know why that happened, to me, that makes it sound like she's still a little too detached.
But after that, she says, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to make it better because I can't go back. Like that to me feels more truthful of like, I don't know what to do. I've ruined this. And like that to me is, those are the moments where I go to therapy because I get stuck in a place where it feels like there's no path forward. I don't know.
agree with you. I agree with you. And it's the conversation that she had with Whitney that's like,
Oh my God.
it's still showing up for me in this one. Like when she said, I don't know why that happened, because I mean, Whitney was basically like shaking her by the shoulders. Like she said, don't date for 30 fucking days. And she's like, and I'm like, dude.
That's right. And Whitney said, like, it should be a mother's instinct to
Right.
set aside everything to connect with their children. You have that, right? And she was like, yeah, no, sure, I definitely have that.
And Olivia says the same thing. I don't know what I cannot imagine making the choice that you made. That it doesn't compute to me. Same thing when Josh and I became parents. Like how do you not show up and love the shit out of them? How do you not? I don't get it. God bless. Olivia, you have my full support. And Brittany, I really hope for the sake of yourself and your daughter that you can make some shifts.
But I think the good news is like, I see in Olivia someone who's going to be okay either way.
Yeah. But goddamn, I'm so sick of kids having to be resilient because of shit like this. I know that I should just accept it, but like it.
No, I'm not saying you should just accept it, but what does that mean? You and I are products of like, you know what I mean?
I think that both of us could have used with a little less having to be strong.
But I guess my experience of people who were raised in whole households, they get their own set of challenges. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you're
I
right,
think it's
you're
a
right.
fallacy to believe it's that fucking bachelor programming of
Okay.
like, my parents are still together after 40 years, so I'm a stable, wonderful choice. It's like, fucking are you for sure? Like
Totally.
I think we're all looking for the path to a smooth, simple, pain-free life. I have never encountered a single human being who's had that. We've all had patches, but I don't know.
I get it. I hear you. I do.
I'm just happy for her for like having really clear boundaries, really clear questions, and really clear demands. You need to figure that out so that I don't get hurt again and you don't get to cry over not talking to your kids. That was your choice.
Oof, God. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely not neutral.
No, no.
I am not neutral. And then I guess we get a little bit of reprieve because this is the most surface conversation we've seen take place in this entire episode is when Heather and Meredith are walking in their respective faux animal coats with Starbucks. There's always a fancy walk happening in Salt Lake City with a Starbucks and an outfit. Like, it's just wild to me. Apparently, Meredith isn't usually a driver, so she shows up driving a car, and she tells Heather she chipped a tooth on a cold ease and then kicked her toe on the corner of the shower, and her toe is now purple, but her legs are conditioned to walk in heels, so that's why she's wearing, I mean, not just like high heels, but like high heels, pointy toe boots.
She says it's healthier. I was like, oh, okay. I love that logic.
Oh, my God. So they're dissecting the lunch from the day before, the telepathic lunch, and Heather tells Meredith that her conversation with Lisa did not get through. And Heather says, I used to think Lisa was fearless. Now I'm wondering if she actually was fearless, she'd say things to their faces and not drop them in other people's buckets. Yeah, she's not fearless. She's just loud, and she's just mean. She's not fearless. She's not strong. She's ego, and she's gross ego. She's not even charming ego. She got a name drop. She's got a yacht shame. You know what I mean?
And Heather says, like, our friendship is still new and fragile. And she says, Lisa pulls you in and then slings the mud. Like, that is her cycle with every woman in this group and probably plenty of other people in her life. But Meredith is firmly Team Lisa based on nothing that I could really make any sense of. And Heather is feeling cautious about being Lisa's friend after Lisa has dug up dirt on everyone in their friend group, including Meredith. Hot mic moment. She's fucked half of New York City. Hello.
I know, dude. And I loved that Heather said, dude. Okay, so Meredith says after the hot mic freakout moment, Lisa profusely apologized to me for years. And Heather's like, yeah, dude, she got caught. It's because she got caught. She's like, so why don't you want to believe what Angie said and Meredith said? But what if Lisa didn't say that? What if Lisa really wasn't trying to dig up dirt on my family about shoplifting and what was the other thing?
I don't remember. It's also petty. That's part of it, too, is it's just like, it's so desperate and lame.
Yeah, exactly. It's low-hanging fruit. It's lazy and stupid. And that's all she knows how to do, that woman. So Heather's like, Meredith, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. But Meredith is, she says no because I don't have a good track record with Angie myself. And so in this case, I'm giving Lisa the benefit of the doubt. Okay, go ahead. Wouldn't work for me, but like, whatever. Put on your high-heeled boots and be friends with Lisa. Believe Lisa.
But this is why I hated the scene, because I don't believe her. I don't
Meredith
either. Doesn't believe that that's happened. I don't believe Heather gives a shit that Lisa, I don't think Heather was ever aiming for a real friendship with Lisa anyway. So this was just like two ladies walking and having coffee and like, fine. But they tease this piece of information that it's possible Lisa's dug up new skeletons on Bronwyn, which have suddenly hit the press now that Lisa is pissed at Bronwyn. And we pick up this information with Angie and Mary coming to Whitney's under the auspices of having Mary fill out her preference sheet for the yachting excursion, because Mary is, in fact, the most particular. There was a sad moment where Mary said she likes a yacht because it rocks her to sleep, and no one ever did that for her as a child.
Oh, God. I was like, wide eyes emoji. That was so gnarly.
It just felt like, oh, you were neglected.
Yeah. Yeah.
People yelled around you a lot and you were neglected.
Yeah.
Because earlier she had said, like, you get so mad that I don't exist anymore. And then we hear this thing of like, no one held me and rocked me as a child, so I let the fucking ocean do that. I'm like, nobody took care of you. And you never went to therapy, so you're letting the ocean and your female friends fill that role, and you married your granddaddy.
You married your grandfather. Yeah, you married your step-grandfather. Oh, my God. Yes, it was gnarly. So Angie brings up the headlines like, hey, did you guys see the headlines about Bronwyn that broke that morning? And they flash the headlines. Felony allegations of identity theft, felony allegations of grand theft. And that leads us to Todd and Bronwyn at the bar at the Edison Social Club. Ugh. Yikes, 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 yikes. She brings up the headlines to Todd, and in her confessional, she says, okay, listen, first of all, yes, I had an eviction notice. It was from college. I had to pay it years later. But then the headlines also say that she committed crimes in the current day, but that actually happened 10 years ago, nothing recent. It's been a case that was dismissed, later sealed, and I really legally can't speak on it because of what my involvement was with that. Now, in Reddit, there was discussion about this. The lawyers like to weigh in, and I fucking love it. I love it when a lawyer Bravo fan weighs in on Reddit with something like this. It's just so fascinating. They were basically saying that dismissed and sealed doesn't mean what she is trying to make us think that it means.
No, she clearly did something and took a deal. You know, both parties agreed for her to pay some sum, which Todd probably paid, and have this document sealed. And now she won't talk about it because, as she apologizes to Todd for these allegations and likely criminal behaviors on her part, are going to affect his business. And he is slightly nicer to her in this scene, but still pretty agitated and mostly a dick. And he says he doesn't understand why she wants to spend time with people who are capable of putting her and her family on blast like this. This is when he says, I wouldn't piss on Lisa if her brain was on fire. And Bronwyn acknowledges that Lisa started and or perpetuated these rumors. That seems clear. The timing is wildly suspicious. And this is where Todd sort of, again, daddies Bronwyn and is like, you're a big girl and you can do what you want, but basically saying you're getting in the gutter and mucking around with slime when you hang out with these women. So don't come home complaining that you and Lisa got in a fight because you're setting yourself up for that. It's on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that perspective. I get it.
I do. And this is, again, Josh and I will watch this episode together. And after Todd told Bronwyn, I don't know why you want to go if you know Lisa is going to be a shit. If she is, what you just said, don't come crying to me about it. I told him there was a time. I told Josh, I'm like, there was a time when you would have said something similar to me. And he absolutely agreed, 110%.
But I agree with Todd on this part. It's like how Bronwyn said in a confessional earlier in the episode. She said Todd's point of view is like, don't go to the circus and be surprised by the clownery. So I get it. I might set a similar boundary. I'm like, if you're going to hang out with people who have a history of only hurting you, then when you come home, you're going to have to find a different audience for that gripe, because I know that they're going to hurt you and I don't want to hear about it because you are walking yourself into that firing squad.
I think that is his best way of supporting her. I don't understand. I can't co-sign on this. I don't want to hear about you getting hurt. Not because he's trying to spite her or be a dick. It's like, it is hard for me to hear about what you're going through. And it probably is frustrating because to someone like Todd, and I think a lot of, it feels like this is one of those like gender things where men can be like real cut and dry about shit and women look at like big pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like the compartmentalization is something that I don't understand. I am not of that ilk. But Josh has been very put things in a box, and he tell you that himself. So again, I understand that he's reading as completely impatient, completely intolerant.
And like infantilizing.
I know.
And I wish Bronwyn felt empowered to explain to him. Here's what I think. I think Bronwyn likes being on the show because she's visible. Someone actually gives a shit that she exists. It matters if she shows up, and it matters what she does. I think under her roof, he's never home. When he is, she's in the way. He doesn't give a fuck about anything in her life. I quote, you don't care about the details at all. So I think it's worth the Lisa risk to Bronwyn. That's how dark it is under her roof. She would rather have criminal behavior exposed and be somewhere where she fucking feels seen and like she matters than be in isolation in that marriage. That's how I read this. Because honestly, I struggled with it too. I'm like, why would you stay on this show? Like, they are trying to destroy you and they could harm your husband, but it must be that lonely. It must be that isolating. It must be that dark. That's, my projection.
Wow. I fully am on board with this. This is Todd's inability to see why she wants to go. After what you just said, I can absolutely see that being a possibility.
It's
100%.
sad.
It is. It's very sad.
It feels
very
like
sad.
Could be so.
God damn, it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Like I would actually watch it again, even though I've already taken notes and watched it 2 times.
And next week looks like it's going to be amazing
God,
too. When they're on the yacht,
I
just
can't
absolutely
wait.
melting down. It's going to be great.
So great.
Thrilled.
Friend, what else did you watch this week?
Well, since we last talked, the only thing I've watched was Below Deck, and it was great and boring and forgettable, and I love it. And But I did listen to the Bravo docket. There was a podcast they did about the sister wives, like bigamy lawsuit. Anyways, I find them delightful and fascinating. So that's kind of all of the reality TV I've been able to touch down on this week. How about you?
I think I watched Orange County, but now I can't remember because it's so fucking boring and stupid.
I didn't even bother. How
I don't
sad is
even
that?
know. That is sad. I think I remember something, but I'm not sure. I am going to have to check and see. So unclear. Potomac. Love Potomac this season so
I
far.
haven't watched that
Love
yet.
it so fucking much. I fit in maybe an episode or two of Vintage Roni. I watched the Lakers lose to the Warriors last night.
Oh,
It's okay.
barely though. And LeBron has sciatica because he's
I
old
know.
like us.
Oh my God. And then we watched a documentary about the band Failure on Hulu, and it was so good. It was so good. Like, I need to hand the remote to Josh more. Usually he lets me like pick it out because he's just too tired. He's too Todd. He's too Todd at the end of a day. He's like, I can't. Yeah, he's too tottered. You know, he's like, no, you choose. I don't care. I'm just going to scroll. And I'm like, fine, okay. It's very easy for me. But when he picks stuff out, it's like really considered. And it was a great documentary. It was so good. Josh played with that band. I remember seeing them in the mid 90s probably. And it was really good. It was really good. And then I
What
listened.
was good about it? Was it like interpersonal stories
Oh my
within
God.
the band?
Yes.
Or like,
Drug addiction.
oh, interesting.
I mean, such good music, such good art comes from people that are addicts. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
it does. A
Well,
lot of it makes
especially in
good
the
art.
90s.
Yeah, very much so. And seeing the other musicians, their contemporaries, being interviewed, that was really interesting. Shout out to Melissa Oftemeyer from Hole, who said, I'm not down with doing drugs. Psychedelics that open your mind, yes. And I was like, fuck yeah. Because again, and this is only me, I have only done psychedelics for medicinal therapeutic purposes under the watch of therapists with me. It's not like doing drugs because I'm usually there doing it to work on something, dissolve
I've
my
only
ego.
done psychedelics outside of a therapeutic session, and it's wonderful. So,
Well, I've only done therapeutic doses too, so that I can work things through in real time. I don't know. That's been my only experience has been doing it to open my mind. So, but I can't imagine doing them without someone guiding me, someone being there. Anyway, so it was really fucking good. The whole documentary was great. Music was great. The interviews were great. Seeing the old footage was great. Man, I know Gen X gets a lot of hate, but we had some good ass music. So suck it. Just kidding. Don't suck it. Just don't be so mean to us. We're not all bad. We're not all boomer light. Friend, what was your antidepressant this week?
my antidepressant was this episode. To me, this was like one of the best episodes of reality TV I've ever seen, especially the timestamp of 15 minutes and 50 seconds to 17 minutes and 23 seconds, which was the most dramatic perfection on the subject of farts. Like, I could not have been, it just absolutely, I laughed so hard. I had to watch it so many times just to take notes because it surprised me every time. It was delightful. This was comedy. Heather Dubrow, take notes. Yeah. I basically just wrote out a whole why this is an incredible story-driven fart scene. It has relationship consequences. The fight escalates through the inciting incident of the fart, denials, justifications, confusion from Angie over the facts of the circumstances, and finally, a loving resolution. What more could you ask for in 93 seconds?
You're so right.
That is my antidepressant. Those 93 seconds, changed me chemically. So how about you?
This is something I never thought I would say as an antidepressant, but I have repeated it so many times to anyone that will listen to me who cares about me. I am making Leo's Halloween costume. And I don't mean from scratch. I don't have a sewing machine.
So Mormon. I'm kidding.
No, I don't have a sewing machine. I would love to learn how to sew. I mean that I'm sourcing it because I looked at this costume on Etsy and I was all, dude, I can do better than that. And so I did, and I have, and I'm getting creative. I can't find the shirt that he needs. So I bought a white shirt and some tailor's chalk, and I'm going to hand draw what I need to have on exactly. See your face right now? Your mouth is
Oh
open.
my God.
Yep. I mean, I got stuff from Michael's, from Etsy, from Nordstrom Rack, from The Gap, and I'm making his dreams come true for Halloween. And I'm excited. Like, I'm finding a creative outlet from
You're
this.
a stylist, spooky stylist.
And I started it early. Like, I'm not scrambling.
I know. We're like over a week away. I can't even
Yeah.
believe we're having this conversation. You have Taylor's chalk a week before?
Taylor's chalk. I have Taylor's chalk. Yeah. I am making him a K-pop Demon Hunters Soulja Boy, Genu Soulja Boy outfit.
Amazing.
The one that he wears during the day. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be good. He's going to have a good costume.
I can't wait to see pictures.
I can't wait for it all to be together.
And I love that it's like a family effort, that it's like his vision and you're the one carrying it out. Like, that's amazing. It's so meaningful.
He just told me what he wanted to be, and I was like, okay. And I've been like holding up every piece as it comes in the mail, or I pick it up, and I'm like, what about? He's like, that's great. And I'm like, oh, but you don't understand. Taylor's chalk on a white shirt. Leo, Taylor's chalk. And he's like, great. I'm like,
I'm 9.
I'm like,
okay.
the pink on the shirt doesn't match the pink on the belt. He's like, I don't care. And I'm like, you don't? Okay. Because it would make me nuts. But like, he doesn't care. And thank God that he doesn't. But that's my antidepressant.
The people handing out candy are not gonna be comparing shades of pink. That's an amazing antidepressant.
Oh, thank you.
And I love that it's like ongoing. I love that it's an ongoing project.
Oh,
and
God.
And it also has a deadline, which is also really
does.
satisfying as a creative person to be like, I have until this date to get this done.
Yep.
So I will put my heart and soul and back into it until that moment.
And being of service to my little boy, to give him a costume that he wants to wear, makes me feel really fucking good. And the fact that I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it one more time so I hear myself. I started this weeks ago. I did not wait till the last minute. That's an effort for me, you know? Since I did an order from Michael's, I threw in some stuff for me to like get excited about Christmas decorating,
Amazing.
my crafts. So that was also a lift. Like I'm dopamine driven on Christmas decorations, I'll tell you that. Anyway, that's it.
I love that. You know, I think it was a therapist. Anyway, someone in my life once told me that the way to spell love is Time. And it feels like
Yes.
this is a huge investment of time, which will translate to your son as LOVE. What a gift. Having just come off of this like tragic scene between Olivia and her mom, like what an incredible opportunity Leo has to never have to have that steamer conversation.
God bless. God, please, please. I mean, he has told me about my phone use before. And that's
Look,
real hard.
Every child. Look, I feel like it's biological in some ways. You have to differentiate from your parents so you get the fuck away from them at a certain point in your life, you know?
I know.
And
but
every kid will have issues with their parents because nobody's perfect. But as long as you're like not ignoring Leo to make out with a weird, strange man at your doorstep.
No, well, he has 30 minutes between jobs. I am absolutely
and hasn't seen you in years. Yeah. Then I think you're on an okay trajectory here.
I know. And it's making me really happy. So I'm really glad. Yes. Oh my God, Margie, it was so great to talk with you about this episode. I'm so happy that Miami's done and this is where we are. And I can't wait for this cast to exhaust me just like Miami did. But for right now, this is like I am snorting it up. Yeah. It's a big old rail of fucking great content.
I love it.
All right, friend. I love you. Everyone else, take really good care of yourself. Pass the podcast on to a friend. Turn a friend who doesn't watch Bravo on to Bravo. It's not what they think. It's never what people think. It's not what people think. You know that. I know that. We all know that. Let's just see. Hey.
There's a whole wormhole on TikTok of like, I mean, it's so gendered, but it just is what it is, of wives recording their husbands, like passing through the room while their wife is watching Bravo and just like, just extended, you know, time lapse of them standing there watching like a whole hour of a show, but standing because they're not going to sit down and commit. They don't watch this shit. But I was passing through, so I'm going to watch a whole hour of it, ask questions, get to know the characters. And, you know, anyways, there's something for everyone. I'm convinced of it.
There is. All right. We will be back to talk next week.
Love you, friend. Everybody take care of yourself. We'll talk next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Ramona and Margie are
Obviously.
not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.